I'm talking on the subject, breaking the back of suffering. The Bible says the angel of the Lord found Haggai near a spring. Found Haggai near a spring. She was near a spring in the desert. It was the spring that was beside the road to Shur. Do you know that this woman called Haggai was a servant to Sarah? No, yes, Sarah akoda mpachoso unimpa. And she didn't know she was pregnant, but I will get there. Amen. I was shocked when the revelation came to me. She didn't know she was pregnant. Never at all did she know she was pregnant. Sarah was maltreating her and maltreating her and maltreating her, that just one day she decided to run away. And a lot of us, the circumstances of life have caused us to move from the place that God positioned our feet. And she ran away and she pitched herself by a spring in the desert. And the spring was at that place beside the road to Shur. Now Shur means wall, and go to verse 8. Shur means wall. And he said, Haggai, servant of Sarai, where have you come from and where are you going to? And Haggai gives one answer, not two. She says, I am running away from my master, but she doesn't say where she's going to. And surely she won't know where she's going to, because she has come to the place of Shur. And Shur means wall. Wall. And there are a lot of people, there is a wall stopping you from where God wants to take you. And so you don't seem to know where you are going to. You don't know where you are going to in relationship. You don't know where you are going to in business. You don't even know where you are going to in ministry. You don't know where you are going to in marriage. And you are stuck by a small spring. And you are consoling yourself with the spring. But God wants me to tell you that where you have resigned or retired is not the place He wants you to dwell. Else you would have to go back to your master. You see, when God has not finished with you, no man can perfect you. When God has not finished with you, nobody can bring out the best out of you. You will always be an incompleted project. And there are many people who are incomplete projects because God has not finished with them. Sickness has made them run away from the place God kept them. Criticism has caused them to run away from the place God kept them. And every time you run from the place God keeps you, you will find something that satisfies you, but in just a short little while. Because the Bible doesn't say he pitched his tent by the sea, pitched his tent by the lake, but by a spring of water. What is a spring of water? Ensutene, not by the sea. There are some things that satisfy, but only for a short while. There are some comforts that are only for a short while. It sounds so good in your ears, such that you will be willing to sacrifice what God is bringing. Every time God is bringing us something, I have said, it comes wrapped in rags. If you are not careful, you will run away because you don't see what God is bringing. Is somebody hearing me? But I want to tell you, no matter where you have pitched your tent, let's go back to the old rugged cross. Are you hearing me? Let's go back to the wells that God started with us. Let's go back to the fountains of Jehovah's presence, not the moves of the Spirit that are in a short while, not just people falling under the power in a short while, not just people shaking in a short while, not just people speaking in tongues in a short while. God wants to have permanent residency in your thoughts, in your life, in your business. And I pray for you, in case you are running away from God because of any challenge, find your way back to God. Somebody say, I will find my way back to God. God, and I am going to God tonight. And I wish that some people can follow me back to God. Hey, a songwriter once said that take me back, dear Lord, to the place where I first received you. Hagar, you cannot run away. Hagar, you will not arrive, because there is a wall behind you. If you leave the place of the promise, every other premise is for a short while. There is a wall, but it takes God to break the wall. If the Lord is with you, you won't even be behind a wall, and the wall will not be relevant. But if the Lord is not with you, you will get stuck at shore. I pray that God will be with you. And if you want to break the curse of suffering, the first thing is be where God planted you. Somebody say, I'll be where God planted me. It's better to be where God plants you than to be where people just welcome you and put you on the surface. God's planting is deep, because it takes time for him to develop a man. It takes time for him to grow man. God's planting is good. Man's acceptance is just according to their strength in time. I pray, but I pray that you go back to God no matter what, because with God you shall be satisfied with plenty. With God, though your weeping may endure, joy is on the way coming. With God, though you may have little, but many abundance in provision is waiting for you. I prophesy upon everybody under the sound of my voice that many abundance in waiting has been made available for you. I see some of you here. What God is going to do shall be marvelous. Today you may be poor, today you may have nothing, but I see a miracle coming. Lift up your hands and say, miracle is coming. Let me speak to you tonight. What has scared you away from God? Let nothing intimidate you from God. Let nothing scare you from God. Let nothing push you from God. Paul said, what shall separate us from the love of God? Is it affliction? Is it miscarriage? Is it when we are sacked from our work? I tell you that nothing must separate you. Today we are going back to Sarah. Whether she embraces us, whether she rebukes us, whether she loves us or not, we are coming because God wants us to be there. The person listening to the sound of my voice, may God take you there. Lift up your hands, I'll get there.